right, let's go to another name. Let's go to Zach Wilson, because this to me is the most intriguing quarterback in this entire draft. To me, like, I have such conflicted opinions about Zach Wilson. Like, I love some of the things I see from Zach Wilson, but again, I have questions kind of in the opposite direction of Mac Jones on some of the things. There are some things that we just didn't get to see him do that much in BYU that, again, like, he does things that you can't teach, right? The things he does really well are just things you can't teach. Like, he is a special deep ball thrower, special down the field thrower. Especially outside the numbers, when he throws a deep ball outside the numbers, you can kind of see why people have that Aaron Rodgers comparison, because he has a really easy feel for the touch, the
back shoulder fade,
timing. Yeah, throwing back shoulder. It's easy for him. He's insanely good at it. But there's just a couple things about him that, instead of me highlighting Benjamin Solik, I retweeted his article. He did a phenomenal job of going through what it is. He wrote it in a better sense than I could describe it to you. So I would just recommend that you go read that particular article, because those are very real questions about Zach Wilson. So I know, in my opinion, he is worth a top 10 pick, and I would take him in the top 10. That's way too rich for Grant. I'm 100% sure of it. But I still, he's confusing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a lot like Justin Fields in the sense that he's toolsy. If you like him, you like his highlights. He makes really impressive throws, rolling left, rolling right, downfield. But the more you watch, like, he's the anti-Mac Jones. Mac Jones, like, his highlights are like, but when you watch the actual coach's tape, you're like, okay, well, that was impressive. You threw with anticipation. Actually, now that I've charted the entire game, you actually do know where to go with the ball. You're not predetermining your reads. You're not missing open people. You're actually a very polished quarterback. Part of it is Alabama, but you really have more of an appreciation. When you watch Zach, it's like almost all of his throws are predetermined. It seems like to me. Even the short ones, the long ones, it's a lot of play action, rollout, one read stuff, and that's fine. But I feel like there's a lot of quarterbacks who would put up good numbers and highlights at BYU running that system.
So I was texting with a few people about this, just asking questions about it, because to me, and people confirm this just talking about the system, Rich Madrid was one of those people. Like, BYU's offense basically gave him pre-snap. They gave him the keys to the offense, and they let him dictate the offense pre-snap. And he was usually pretty good at picking which side to go with the ball, but usually pre-snap matchup dictated. He wasn't changing his mind based on pro-snap rotations of stuff where he went to the ball. And he was good at it pre-snap, but
at BYU
game, right, and he was good at it pre-snap, and he was accurate, but the question is, how much can he do it post-snap in the NFL? And that's something that I guess you and I can't
He'll have to develop that. And all I'm saying is the NFL really isn't a developmental league. Sometimes some players get this great situation where they get developed, like Josh Allen, but most of the time you get the Alex Smith treatment. It doesn't work, and then you get a new coordinator, and just snowballs. So if you're getting Zach Wilson, the good thing about the Bills and Josh Allen is they weren't in denial about what he was. It was all a projection. He's tools. We're going to stick with him. We'll go through the growing pains. It'll be worth it. Are you willing to do that with Zach Wilson, or are you thinking Zach Wilson's going to tear it up like Kyler Murray did right away? And if he doesn't, do you give up on him? Because it's like that's my problem. It's not even Zach Wilson's fault. He has all these great tools and highlights. He's going to be drafted real high, and some team that doesn't know what to do with him could ruin him and then blame him. That's what I'm saying. He's a project.
This is a misconception. He does not run a high school offense. He runs they probably have more NFL concepts in their offense than Justin Fields even.
It's like the Niners offense from the pistol, basically.
It's so there's enough NFL concepts in his offense where he shouldn't have a problem. The problem is that they just allow him to read everything pre-snap rather than make him call a play and have him decipher post-snap based on safety rotations and other things like that, where to go with the ball. I like him a lot, bottom line. I just think, I don't know, I'm a sucker for a guy who can really throw it. And when he's got that really efficient, quick throwing motion that he can generate velocity and power from any platform and with people around, I'm just a sucker.
All right, let me address that real quick, because I watch a lot of him. And what I appreciate, the reason I think I like Fields better than Wilson, is Fields has that extra arm strength when there's guys in his face and he can't step into his throw. He can fire it off his back foot. He's got a cannon. Zach Wilson, if you notice, he moves around a lot, and it's fun to watch. But one of the things he accomplishes with all that movement is momentum. he gets a lot of momentum into his throws. And I notice when he has bodies in his face and he has to just hang back and throw off his back foot, the arm is it's more regular at that point. Not bad. It's just regular at that point.
So I agree with you. I think Fields has the stronger arm of the two. I think the draw to Wilson is that one, I think he generates power and velocity off different platforms and kind of with creativity. I think that's the big draw to Wilson. Those are the two things. But I think Fields has the stronger arm. I do think the arm strength with Wilson gets overstated when people throw out Mahomes and Rodgers. It's not there for me. It's not Mahomes.
At this throws, you want that. It's just you don't always get that luxury in the NFL.
Right. I think the two closer in terms of arm strength is I think he generates velocity like Baker, who throws a ball with a lot of power. And I think the distance is closer to Carr than it is to Mahomes, where flicks the ball 70 yards off his back foot. I don't think that's
Carr's arm. He pretty much has Carr's arm. I think that's a pretty good compare. Carr has a good arm. Carr's a good arm.
Great arm.
Baker kind of has a cannon. Baker really throws the hell out of that.
Baker throws it hard, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it Wilson has hard. Yeah. All right.
But
I like Wilson. I just feel like, again, he's going to be drafted to start and play right away and win. Not win, but to like show. What I tweeted is these top 10 quarterbacks are expected to elevate the team. It's like, hey, we suck. You're great. Show something. Do something. Like, make us feel good about investing so much in you. And a lot of times they don't right away, and it's not their fault.
Right.
I think Zach Wilson is a guy who struggled right away on one of these top 10 teams. Same with Justin Fields. And all I'm saying is you got to know that going into business with them.
It's a tough thing, and I think
you expect Justin Herbert now.
We're talking about trends, right? I was going to bring him up. Right?
Justin Herbert now. You got to be good now.
The criticism with Herbert was, forget nationally, he couldn't elevate Oregon, who was probably the most gifted or one of the more gifted teams in the Pac-12. He couldn't have them definitively be the best team in the Pac-12, which was a criticism people put on him, and they learned it the hard way that they evaluated him wrong. So I think they're trying to get
propping up Oregon. It was not the same program it was 10 years ago. He was dropping that, and then now they're 4-3 this year.